Today's video is another episode in my Building the Shot series, which is a series where I break down everything I can about how a single photo of mine was taken. In this episode, I'm going to go over this image on the screen right here of Ophelia from a recent trip to Canada. In another Building the Shot video going over this image on the screen of Ophelia, I asked you guys if you would like to see the image that we're talking about in today's video broken down in a Building the Shot video of its own, and you guys did want to see that, so that's why I'm making this video. The very same gear was used in both photos. It's going to be the Sony a7R5 with the Sony 51.2 GM, and the lighting is going to be the Godox 8600BM, which is also known as the Explore 600 manual, the original, not the Pro. And the modifier was going to be the Cheetah Stand QSB34, which is their 34-inch beauty dish. I used the deflector plate and both layers of diffusion on that modifier. But before I continue, I do want to let you know that this video is sponsored by Adorama. Adorama is an industry-leading retailer that has been serving photography, videography, and audio customers for almost 50 years now. Their motto is everyone is a creator, and they do their best to unleash that creator within us all by providing us with the tools and expertise necessary to get the job done. I personally shop at Adorama for both the great deals on products I use and recommend, but also the great customer service on those products as well. If you find yourself interested in any product I talk about in today's video, especially the ones I've talked about so far, then definitely check out the links that are going to be in the description area below, and be sure to use those links if you decide to order. What you're seeing on the screen is a very similar image to the last photo that I did a video on of Ophelia, explaining that shot, but I wanted to show this photo because you can see this wooden structure here on the right side. After we shot in this spot here with this rock, we went ahead and shot at this interesting, very interesting tree, this huge dead tree. And I wanted to show you guys this photo because it is overexposed. In the last couple of photos on that rock, I'm at ISO 50 1.2 8,000 of a second, and in this photo I'm at 1/3200th ISO 100. So I did increase the ambient, and because I increased the ambient, I should have reduced the flash, but I didn't, which resulted in an overexposure. In the very next photo, it's actually something that odd that happened with the A7R5. I think half of the image is at 1/5000th of a second and the lower half is not. So if you guys know what happened, let me know in the comments below. But basically the adjustment that I made from this photo to this next one is I went to a faster shutter speed. So I'm now at 1/5000th of a second. And I thought this would give me a correct exposure with leaving the flash at the same output. But obviously it didn't, because I was at 1/8000th of a second at the correct exposure in that last location on the rock. And I just thought, you know, if I move the light a little bit further away, then maybe I can get that same output in flash and get a correct exposure. But long story short, it didn't. I had too much flash power even at 1/5000th of a second, which was my new chosen shutter speed. So then I just reduced the power of the flash from here to here, and it gave me a correct exposure. I wanted to ask you guys if you have a favorite between this shot, which is 23, to I think it's something like 35, which is the last shot in this tree location. If you have a favorite, then I might go ahead and make an editing video from those, or from that single photo that you guys choose. But this is the next photo. Here's another photo. In this shot compared to this previous one, I just went from a lower angle to a higher angle, and that gave me more water in the background. I just took some more photos because, again, Ophelia was a flow poser, which she tries to change her pose with every shot. So it gave me some interesting photos, and I really do like this photo specifically because I got that bird in the background, so that was cool. But I think I'm just gonna cycle through these next photos. I took a photo without the flash firing, so you can see exactly what the flash did. Here's with the flash on, here's with the flash off. And then I left my transmitter off on accident and then started to take some photos in portrait orientation for Instagram, which resulted in this shot. Then I turned on the flash and I took a couple more photos. I do like this one a lot. And then I just moved into the new location, which was about another 15 feet to the right of this previous spot right here. In this new spot, there was a lot of logs on the floor, and I thought it looked really cool. So we placed Ophelia on those logs at the end, and then we were taking a little bit of time to kind of fix the dress. I actually do have a time lapse that Ophelia recorded on her phone showing kind of the behind the scenes of this specific spot. So you can see we did take a little bit of time to set up how the dress was falling on the ground. I really do like these shots, so I'm gonna just cycle through them. There's the first one here. There's the second one. You can see somebody in the background there. There's another one here. And I think I was just kind of getting a little bit wonky on the floor, so my composition was a little messed up. So that's why it's a little crooked there. The main difference between this photo and this previous one is I did increase the ambient level. So I'm at 1/8000th of a second in this photo. And in this next one, I'm at 1/3200th. But from this photo to the next couple of photos, one thing goes very wrong in terms of lighting. So let me just show you guys what I mean. So she's underexposed, but she's also not as nicely lit as before, and that's because I actually moved the light a little bit further away. So you can actually see that in the time lapse that I'm going to show on the screen right now. In this previous shot, the softbox was kind of more on axis with the camera and much closer, and then she moved the light further away. So I'm actually not a fan of the next, I think 5 or 6 photos. I think 5 photos. Here are the next couple of photos, and her posing is great, but I just don't like the lighting at all. Even, okay, so the next like 8 photos or so, and I'm not sure why it took me so long to realize the lighting wasn't how I wanted it to be, but from this photo to the next one, I finally increased the output of the flash, and then it gave me a better exposure on Ophelia. From this photo here to this previous one where she's underexposed in this photo, she's correctly exposed with the flash on this photo, but in this next photo, I do start to slowly bring the light closer to her. So here to here is very different lighting pattern or lighting effect on her. From here, the light's further away and just at a brighter output. From here, it's much closer, and I think actually, no, it's kind of close to the exact position where it was at, but the main difference between this photo and this next one is kind of very, very different in my opinion, because whenever I get a tight frame on my subject, I always try to bring the light as close as possible without being in the shot in the frame of the shot, and sometimes even in the frame of my shot. But I always try to get it really close for that nice soft light. So in this previous shot, I'm not a fan of the lighting. It's a nice photo, but I'm not a fan of the lighting. But finally, in this photo, I am. I believe I had Ashley bring it closer, but also feather the light a little bit so it's not hitting the floor too harshly. And so I just took a couple more photos in this spot, like this. And then I took a behind the scenes for this photo and the last couple photos, which is going to be these 2 shots here. But then finally, after I took this one, I had her lay down along the log, which resulted in this final photo, which I really did like. And I want to say it was Ashley's idea to have her posed like this. So even though she messed up with the lighting a little bit earlier, it was completely forgivable for this winner shot in my opinion, which I really did like. And if you guys want to see how I edited this shot, then you definitely want to check out the part 2 of this building a shot video, where I kind of just edit the photo for you guys instead of just rushing and explaining how I edited this shot, which I usually do in these videos. But that's pretty much it for this video. I hope you guys do enjoy this series, and if you really do enjoy it, please give this video a like, because it'll let me know to keep making them. I really think that it's important to show the mistakes photographers make, so that's why I'm very kind of upfront and transparent with how I mess up during my own photo shoots, and it's exactly why I made this series. So again, if you like this video, then give it a like, and also comment with your thoughts. I want to give one last thanks to Adorama for sponsoring this video, because when they sponsor my stuff, it allows me to keep making free content for you guys, so definitely check them out. For now, take care guys, and I'll see you in the very next video.